Deus Ex, we want it to be the window to the future.
What we're trying to do is change the prosthetics industry so we can offer affordable, functional and beautiful prosthetic devices to amputees.
I'm proud of being one-handed. It doesn't make me feel any different. But wearing this, instead of having people come up to me or give me the sincere look of, oh, you've lost your arm, they go, oh wow, this is fantastic. And I just like to see people have a smile on their face about it. That's what it's all about for me.
Because we're heavily promoting this kind of technology, some people really think we were producing, augmented arms. And some fans or some moms and so on were asking, where can I buy your arm? And unfortunately, we have to say, we're not building any arms, we're just a video game company. But that triggers, the thing where we say, we should do something.
It was a really natural fit when they got in touch with us. We were almost expecting it at some point, and we formed this idea to try and turn Adam Jensen's arm into a real-life bionic limb.
I was actually only born with my left hand, so I've never seen any different, and I've always wanted to have a robotic hand. I've never said I wanted two hands, just a robotic one, just to feel more cyborg, because it's just so much cooler, especially being into sci-fi and comics and stuff.
I developed the first bionic hand when I was 17, just tinkering in my bedroom at my parents' house when I was younger. So when I went to university a few years later, I wanted to take the project a little bit further and found that bionic hands existed for amputees to wear, but they were extremely expensive. And so I used that angle as an excuse to be allowed to create a bionic hand for my final year project at university. And then after university was when I co-founded Open Bionics, and we began working on the same problem with a more kind of definitive goal of being able to offer these bionic hands to people at a really affordable price.
So this is a custom built one for myself. We use sensors in the top and bottom of my arm. So if I tense my bottom muscles, it will close. And if I loosen up but tense upwards slightly, it will open.
We have a fantastic art director. His name is Jonathan Jack Beltet. This guy is a visionary. He's completely crazy. And the way we wanted to depict, a future world was that human augmentations couldn't be just medical device. We wanted it to be super rewarding. People are wearing this kind of prosthesis in a fashionable way. For Deus Ex, we never wanted to do some gimmicky big robot's hand and so on. We wanted something to touch upon, the high fashion, very refined design, something that looks very slick and very, you could be very proud to wear it.
And then you can change all the functions like that. Kind of cool.
At this point, we've made a semi-functional prototype. So we've made one that's functional and looks similar to Adam Jensen's hand. The next steps for us will be perfecting the functionality of it so that it works really nicely and it's very good at grasping objects. And then making the finish really nice so that it looks the part as well. The design files that we're working on in this project will be open source as well, so people will be able to download them. If they have a 3D printer, they'll be able to make themselves an Adam Jensen arm that will be functional and they'll be able to use it.
We don't want to cut this technology, this accessibility to people who have their both hands and so on. So we partnered with Intel with their RealSense division and Razer with their Stargazer division also.
Multiple points on the hand in motion is captured in real time. The result is a one-to-one mirroring between the user's hand and the bionic hand.
We want to show limb-different people that the products and devices that they're seeing in science fiction, in gaming and in movies can become reality and can become reality very soon.
It's mind-blowing for a lot of people, but I cannot wait for the future of this.
Everything we're doing is somehow a new step forward. We're now defining the future.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's segment on Deus Ex. Today is going to be a bit different. We are not specifically going to talk about games, but we are going to talk about our partnership with Open Bionics, which was announced just a few weeks ago. I have a few people with me. Can you just quickly introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Dan, as you saw in that video. I'm the test pilot for the arm.
I'm Sammy. I'm the co-founder of Open Bionics. We're making affordable prosthetic limbs that are completely 3D printed and open source.
And I'm Jonathan Jacques Bellatet, and I'm the Executive Art Director on the Deus Ex franchise.
So Sammy, can you talk a bit about Open Bionics and what you guys do?
Yeah, so we are a startup company, a robotics company from the UK. We started this around a year and a half ago, and we're making bionic limbs super affordable, have high functionality, and look really awesome. So we've partnered with you guys because, well, the fans really wanted it, and they were like always tweeting us like, come on, why aren't you working with these guys? Why aren't you doing this? Like, bring this to life. And making them look really cool. So that's what we're focused on.
Definitely. So how did it start? Obviously, I know the story, but if you could tell it.
It started on Twitter.
Yeah.
It started with there's one like major fan like kind of launched a mini like Twitter campaign, just like tagging us and getting all of his gamer friends to tag us in all of these tweets.
Do you remember his name?
It's Oliver Campbell, but I can't remember his Twitter.
But the Twitter,
tag.
okay.
But the gamers will know, and they're gonna tag him. I know for sure. And he basically got all of his followers to tweet us almost like every day to like do this, and then we've got in touch with your team and we got all of the design files. The artist did such a good job. So all of the aesthetics are from the original artist, and we just made it functional and got it working with someone.
Cool. And then how long have you been collaborating with Open Bionics?
Well, they've put up with me for about 2 years now. So yeah, so it's a bit weird because I've gone from one version to another, and then being like, by the way, Dan, do you want to work with Square Enix? I was like, pardon? And then, I mean, I saw a lot of the posts as well on Twitter about like the Adam Jensen arm, and I was like, I'd love to be part of something like that, and here I am right now.
Yeah.
And it was mind blowing for you because I can't get enough of when I shook your hand. It was just amazing. You loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it as well.
I lost it. It's I probably should have been wearing a diaper, but yeah, it was just like because it's just crazy because we've been working on the Deus Ex universe for so long.
Yeah.
And we've spent so much energy kind of researching all these texts and imagining how they would be and how they would function and what they would look like, and we never ever would have thought that this kind of collaboration and whatnot would have happened, especially when we started in 2007. So it was like some kind of crazy culmination to just shake your hand and having Adam Jensen's hand just kind of close on mine, and some people actually wrote me or tweeted me and they asked, was that like a glove or whatever?
Yeah, a lot of people think.
And
that.
I'm like, no, look at it, it's like way too small. I mean, his hand would be a little baby hand if that was a glove, right? I'm like, this is the real deal.
Yeah, and being a gamer as well, it's been fantastic to be part of, and just being here is seriously surreal. I know I said that in nearly every interview I've been in, but like just being here. A lot of my friends at home would probably hate me right now. If they're watching, I don't care.
I also like the way that you call yourself like a test pilot, right?
Yeah,
for all this and sounds good. How many iterations have you guys gone through since the 2-year partnership, like with Dan?
Dan's first hand that we made him.
Rock'em sock'em robot, man.
It was ridiculous. It was like that thick.
Yeah,
it looked like
was.
a brick. Like he had a brick on the end of his arm.
Yeah, I loved it.
But fair play to him because he let us like attach it to him. We'd never done it before. He was the first person actually ever to wear a 3D printed robotic hand and control it. And like Dan's face, we have a video of Dan using it for the first time, and when he closes his fingers for the first time, he's like, "Oh wow!"
Yeah.
And the closing fingers, that was iteration number what? Do you know? Like
1.
Oh, the 1 already had that. Okay, because the way you were saying that the big kind of.
Oh no, it was massive, but it worked.
Okay, it was massive, but it worked. Cool. And I had this other question that you made that I wanted, but I think I kind of forgot it now. But
in that same video though, shaking my brother's hand, like he always likes to, that's his claim to fame. It's like, my brother that's me shaking my brother's hand. And me and my brother, that was a big step forward. And then, so.
Yeah, it was really emotional for his brother. His brother's like kind of got like a bit welled up and was like, oh, that's the first time. And it actually felt like Dan. It's like a really interesting psychological thing.
Yeah.
Of course,
Because it feels like that's their hand. Like for us, like that's a 3D printed bit of tech.
But for
them, that's their hand.
And that's the key thing, I think. That's the key thing. It's one of the key things, the 3D printing thing. Because what you guys, Open Bionics, are really into, and which I find is is really, really amazing is the whole affordability, accessibility, and open source thing,
Yeah.
which is great, which is what I'm kind of into as a general kind of life philosophy, right? The whole sharing thing and community and whatnot. And this is what's amazing. I mean, I think people can just get the blueprints for these arms, right?
Yeah.
And print
so
them.
many
and
props to you guys for allowing us to do this. I mean,
Yeah.
we've always been an open source company, but we've never had such generosity. Where
Yeah,
someone's
not
like, this
because
is
you guys
such
are,
a-
but it doesn't mean that all your partners are going to be so
no,
open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
So this is amazing, and we can't wait to release these. So you're going to see so many people download them and make them at home. Which is
Yes,
so
a whole
exciting.
nation of people walking around with Adam's arms and
I'll go around fist bumping them all when I
yeah. I want to see that. I want to be there.
I will do that. If I see people, I'll be fist bumping. I'm like, hell
If
yeah.
this happens, I might be the first one to get rid of my proper arm then,
Oh
and just to go with you guys.
So many people have been saying like I'm gonna cut off my arm.
Yeah.
Oh
to
yeah,
get
I've
a
been
bionic
receiving.
one.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead,
it's-
Sasha. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We got asked a question like that the other day about like augmentation.
Oh, it's really terrifying how many people are so keen. They're like, no, seriously,
A
like,
lot of my
I'm
friends
such a
say as
fan that
well.
I'm willing, like even if I can't feel stuff, like I'm willing to give up the sense of touch to wear that arm, and that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, and there's been a spike of this week because we often get these kind of questions as the developers of the SX or whatnot. Like, would you augment yourself? Would you sacrifice something? Whatever. So we get kind of these questions often kind of related to the games in a very kind of broad aspect or whatever. But this week, there's been like this spike of literally people writing, or tweeting or emailing me and like, oh my god, this is like, I want to, I want to get rid of my arm, and it's like, okay, is that really where we are now? This is crazy, because it will happen. It will happen eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are working on two different designs. Obviously, we have the Adam Jensen one, and there is another one which is kind of more inspired by the whole Deus Ex art direction.
Yeah, the other one is more, we call it the franchise arm. It's more, it's not an arm that you can find in any of the games or any of the products that we've developed, but it's like the soul, it's like the essence of the aesthetics of the franchise all into one amazing Open Bionics arm. Yeah.
That one was a challenge because you
Oh, yeah?
guys, that was a real push for us because we had to make it like a functional prosthetic, but there's an actual whole segment missing.
There's
so
a
we
big
were like,
negative space in the middle.
Yeah, so I was like, how are we supposed to do this? But it actually works, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, and I'm glad we were able to make it work with you guys, because these kind of uncanny things are so important to us in the game, to just show that there's limitations to biology, which we don't necessarily have to like respect in making a fake one or a prosthetic one. So there's a lot of designs that we did in the game where we actually purposely cut holes in the limbs or have like crazy kinks in them or weird bends and whatever. So that's why I was really glad that you guys were able to implement that, because it's such a big part of what we do, and it's such a big part also of saying, hey, look, this is functional, but it's also seriously weird, and that's the whole idea.
Yeah, why would you want to replicate the human hand if you get to design your own arm from scratch? Like, why would you want it to look like?
Yeah, some people would, and some people would want it to be almost perfectly unrecognizable, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah, but some people also would be just like, no, let's take this opportunity to make something cool and different.
Like I said, you're better off standing out in the right reasons as well. Like, I mean, I get that some people I know that have prosthetics that stick out, but in that video, the old prosthetic that was there's actually my old one.
Oh yeah,
and it grosses me out a little bit. Sorry to anyone who knows them, but
is that the red one or the
white one?
No, not the 3D printed one.
Oh, the one that you're wearing.
Like, no, not that one. The prosthetic, the actual old
it's
style prosthetic. Yeah, it's human skin one.
Oh, okay, I don't remember. Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
I just think just having something like this, or even like just something that just makes you stand out, and people just go, like I said in that video, just like really standing out and giving a positive light on it.
Yeah.
Because when I've worn that prosthetic in the past, a lot of people would instantly know that you've lost your hand somehow. And then instead of like getting that question now, I'm like, whoa, how does it work? What are you wearing the hand? And I'm just like,
It's like a whole shift of where the point of interest is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've noticed also, probably halfway through Human Revolution, a lot of the vets coming back from probably Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever wars were happening at that time, sadly. But there was like this whole shift that they were starting to wear their prosthetics kind of in the open, I guess, and showing them very kind of proudly. And I remember reading an article that were saying, let's say, the vets or accidents or whatever from like the Vietnam War, these kind of things. The whole idea was to hide them, because they were probably made out of wood or made out of I don't know if it was plastic already. Sorry for my ignorance for this, but I guess the idea was that they weren't good enough or interesting enough, and the whole idea was like, I don't want people to know that I have that, so they wouldn't wear their pants all the time. And now you see, I have tons of pictures that you have like this like super cool looking guy in the New York subway wearing shorts with his like bang 2 metal legs with like really nice kicks in his feet, and he's just there, and it's like, it's almost like maybe I'd want to be like him. We're getting there, you know, and you see them showing them proudly.
Yeah, there's been a huge attitude change.
Exactly, an attitude change, exactly.
I think it's like there's also a generational different thinking on it. So like the older generation really want to like blend in and have those human looking arms. Whereas younger people are like, no, like you just said, like I want to stand out, like I am different, this is me, accept it.
Completely agree
and that's
with
really
that.
attractive, I think.
It is, I agree, yeah.
So when are you guys looking to release the arms and the blueprints to everyone?
So the blueprints will become way before we actually release the arm. So we're going to release the arm next year. We're going to get it tested on lots of different people, get it approved, and then the blueprints will come out this year.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
Looking
really
forward
exciting.
to it,
I'm
yeah.
so excited, yeah. I also know a Marine who lost all of his limbs in Afghanistan, and he 3D printed one of our older versions, so he's going to be all over this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if, like, maybe, because I know I have a few friends that are in the army, and they play games, and they're in, you know, whatever theater that they're based at, they have their consoles. Can you imagine if, like, soldiers were playing Mankind Divided, you know, I mean, or are going to play, but I mean, we're playing Human Revolution, I meant, and maybe fell in love with the game and whatnot, and now maybe they'll be having the arm, and it's like such a crazy scenario when you think about it, you know? Yeah.
Cannot wait what people are going to do with the blueprints. It's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I know I'm going to print it. I mean, for sure, I'm gonna. And also, when I spoke to you a little earlier this week, you told me that if I do put the sensors on my arm, I can just by moving my hands.
Yeah.
And
You
will
just stick them to your side. I have like 2 extra arms, 3D printed.
Really? Oh yeah. Stick the arms out. I thought you meant.
A friend of mine wants to do that. A friend of mine said that. He said it's like he wants to play more bass and like wave at people and rock out. I was like, oh, maybe I can do that.
That's
Need
cool.
to get a 3D printer first.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just going back a bit to building this arm, on your side, was there a lot of work to do to kind of adapt it to being completely functional?
It wasn't so bad. I mean, Open Bionics were so kind of generous with their time and with and also like a very open mind to what you know, we could do, or what actually just let us do what we wanted to do, and then they would tell us if it worked or not, or they would even adapt their own kind of methods or whatnot. It was so it was basically Laura Gallagher, and she's one of our main character modelers. She's crazy, insane ZBrush modeler. She's done so many of the really good characters, including Adam. She's like the Adam, I guess, experts because she's been for days on, sometimes zoomed in to like the most minute details on Adam, right? And Nivan Chantara, who's one of her very top concept artists. So they've worked together. So the Adam one, I would never say that it was easy on our side, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that the arm existed already, right? Adam's design, and it was mainly understanding what Open Bionics needed in terms of their metrics, their constraints, the different variables, and kind of refitting the design to that. So a lot of what we needed was already available. The one that we call the franchise arm, like we spoke a few minutes ago, that's the one that Nivan, as a concept artist, spent quite a bit of time on, kind of designing, and again making sure that the whole could work and it was in a proper place for you guys. I guess in relation to where the battery is and where the cables
Someone
need
has to put their arm in there.
Somebody, and somebody. You're right. Somebody has to put their arm in there somehow. So yeah, but I mean, the guys are so talented, and to be honest, like so much of this work is all about, like I said, Open Bionics, Laura Gallagher, and Nivan Chantara. I mean, I was just kind of, you know, keeping an eye to make sure that everything was on brand and whatnot. But I mean, I had it easy. I mean, these guys just work so hard and all that. So that's kind of how it happened, yeah.
Cool. That's all the time we have today to talk about this partnership. If you want more info, you can go on augmentedfuture.com to see a bit of the 2 arms we are working on. and our announcement video, and also see how we worked with Razer and Intel to further this partnership. We have a bit of gameplay to show you. If you were here today and the day before, we've shown you some stealth and some combat. Today we are going to show you some more of Dubai, but a bit more adaptive gameplay, a mix of action and stealth. So
what I call the ballet between all the modes.
Yeah. Enjoy, guys, and see you soon.
Give me something lethal.
Your call, but Singh's undercover in all this.
So watch your fucking sights.
What about range? There's lots of wide spaces and high ceilings in there, but a number of tight and constrained rooms too.
So it's a crapshoot, really.
Never was one to play the odds. Give me something I can use up close.
You got it. One last thing, Jensen. Singh said the Jinn are using some sort of portable Wi-Fi device to boost communications. He's got a better chance of maintaining cover if you disable it.
I'll keep an eye out for it. But aren't we on the clock here? You said there's a sandstorm moving in.
There is, and we got the intel on this mission at the very last minute, so we're scrambling a little. If it comes to it, your #1 priority is keeping the Jinn out of that atrium.
Copy that.
Time to put away your heavy thoughts, gentlemen. We're approaching the target building.
You're up first, Jensen. Let's do this.
Task Force Actual. This is Knife Leader. Engage Hush drives and descend to Angels 1-5.
قبل ما يصل تاجر الأسلحة.
I'll do another sweep in the area, just to make sure.
علمني إذا أي شيء بين.
Jensen, Mac, listen up. Doppler shows that sandstorm's moving in fast. It's big, and it's gonna hit us hard.
God, I hate the fucking desert. Confirm visual?
I can. Time is not on our side.
Copy that.
Solid copy.
McCready, how you making out?
Slower than expected. It's like someone's tilled a fucking cemetery down here.
Say again?
When the shit hit the fan in 27, the rush must have been for the stairs. There's corpses everywhere. A lot of your cousins are here too, Jensen. You want me to grab you any spare parts?
No parts. But I take mine with cream and 2 sugars while you're asking.
Jensen, what's your 20?
Working my way through the penthouses.
Remember to keep an eye out for the Jin's communications booster. If you can, disable it.
Roger that.
Hear something?
Miller, I disabled the Jin's comms booster. Should make it harder for them to listen in on the deal.
Good work.
Listen.
Jensen, we're inside the atrium, taking up positions on the terraces. What's your 20?
Still moving.
Well, hurry the fuck up. Enemy helo is inbound and this sandstorm's getting close. You get that comms booster disabled?
Affirmative. Booster's fried.
So maybe the Tin Man does have a heart after all. Way to look out for your team. McCready out.
Access granted.
This is Jensen. Penthouse access route secure. Jin shouldn't be a problem. Over.
Copy that. About fucking time. Enemy helo sighted. All right, strike force. Position and hold.
Strike one.